Everyone, welcome to Virtual STEM Club Electric Eels. I'm Sandy, and today we're going to take some gummy eels and some other ingredients normally found in a kitchen, and we're going to see if we can make them appear to be electric eels in our solution. You should have already picked up your take and make bag, which will include all of the necessary supplies, and we'll see what we can do with them. The contents in your kit are going to be a bottle full of vinegar, a foam bowl, a spoon, a bag of baking soda, a bag with some gummy worms in it, and 2 plastic cups. The thing that you're going to need from home is a pair of scissors and some water. Now, I've filled my first cup with about half of it in water, and you'll see why in just a minute. So the first thing we want to do in our project is to make our gummies a little bit smaller. And the easiest way to do this is going to be with some scissors. Now, this might be kind of tricky, so feel free to get an adult or an older sibling to help you do this. Well, we just want to make these a little thinner. It's going to make the experiment go a little better. And your scissors might get a little sticky from this, and that's okay. You can just rinse them off with some soap and water. So just take your worm and cut him in half. And then if you can, carefully cut him in half again. Just make sure to keep your fingers out of the way. And it's okay even if a piece breaks off, and we'll experiment with him and see what happens. And we'll even cut this guy in half this way and see how the smaller pieces react in our experiment. So just cut them in half. All right, and then we're even gonna cut this one in half again just to see what happens. So the next thing you wanna do is take your cup, and we're going to we're gonna use a spoon, and we're gonna put 3 spoons of the baking soda in the second cup that doesn't have anything in it. And then we're going to put our gummy pieces in there. We'll set the scissors aside, and if you have to, you can kind of break them apart and squish them around or shake the baking soda around, or you can take the spoon and stir it up. But the idea is to get the worm all coated with the baking soda, because that's going to be the important part to trigger the reaction when we put the gummies in with the water and the baking soda. So we'll put them all in there and get it all mixed up. Just stir it around so everything's coated. And once you've done that, take your gummy pieces out and shake off the excess baking soda and put them in the bowl. So just scoop them out. Put them in the bowl, like so. Okay. Whoops. And the only reason I'm trying not to do it with my fingers is because I'm afraid I'll knock some of the baking soda off. But once you get everything out of your baking soda mixture, you can just leave your gummy worms aside for a minute. And then you'll take the top off this bottle of vinegar. And it's taped down so it wouldn't spill in your bag with all your other ingredients. And if you have to, you can take your scissors and cut the tape if you can't peel it off, like I'm having a hard time doing. And just peel the tape off. And then open the bottle, and it's closed pretty tight. So you just open it like that. And then we're going to take the vinegar and we're going to pour it into the water, and we're going to pour it so it's not all the way to the top because we don't want to spill all over everything when we put our gummy worms in. But we're just going to put enough to get it about right here. Then we'll take a piece of gummy worm, put it in our vinegar and water, and see what happens. And see if he's dancing around. He's moving a little bit. And I don't know, I can see the chemical reaction of the vinegar and the water. Let's try a smaller piece and see what happens. All right, here we go. All right. Well, he's moving a little bit, but he's not dancing. So what if we take, maybe he's too heavy, so we'll take and make him even smaller. Get it covered in baking soda and see what happens. I can see the reaction of the vinegar and the baking soda. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my worms out, and I'm going to mix them back up with some of the baking soda, and I'm going to put less water and more vinegar in this, and then I'll be right back and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I have rinsed out my cup. I took my worms and I tried to make some really thin pieces to see how we're going to try this experiment again. So I made my worms as thin as I could. I've put water back in my cup, but I've only got maybe a quarter of a cup of water in here. And then I'm going to take the rest of the vinegar that I have in my bottle and I'm going to pour it in the cup. All right, so we've got a higher ratio of vinegar to water in our experiment, and we've got thinner pieces of worm. So let's give this a try and see if we have more luck. Oh, there we go, he's wiggling around. Yay! Let's try another one. Let's see if I can find another thin piece in here. All right, thin. He didn't wiggle quite as much, but I think the secret to this experiment is thinner pieces, more vinegar, less water. So feel free to keep experimenting with as much of the supplies that you have, and we'll hope that you, oh, there we go, he's wiggling pretty good. So we'll hope that you have more success than I did with your experiment, but please try and share any of your pictures with me that you have. Thanks for joining me for the Virtual STEM Club Electric Eels. I hope you had fun with it. And if you've got supplies left, feel free to start over and try it again. I'd love to see any video or pictures that you have of you doing the project, and you can share them with us at the email address on the screen. See you next time.